You're gonna love. Oh, perfect. All right. Make sure you put in the chat where you're tuning in from. I see Chantel's driving. I just want to see where everybody's popping in from. All right. Today, my guest is out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She's a husband-wife team. Let's just say she does all the real work, though. So, just named 40 under 40 in 2022. Every production award you could imagine she's hit, over 50 million in production, 275 homes sold. Her goal is to educate clients on how to create generational wealth by buying and selling real estate. Joanna Arnold, we have so much to talk about. I want to talk about your branding, what you're doing, the content creation. You just hired a video guy. Your video content's looking amazing. So I want to go through all of that. Go through and please write questions in the chat for Joanna as well, because there's a lot we're going to get to. Joanna, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. I'm excited to be here. How y'all doing this morning?
Yeah. How
Good?
is everybody
Good?
doing? Megan's saying, shh. Okay. If you're having a good day already, hit one in the chat.
Right. I know it's 10 a.m. I'm still drinking coffee too. I know. Right.
I I got my work hard, be kind right here. So, all right. So Joanna, you're out of Baton Rouge. You do a lot of really creative things. Where, we just talked about some of your numbers. Where does most of your business come from currently?
So currently, a majority of my business right now is probably about 60-40. 60% is probably going to be past clients, and 40% is going to be from social media. Initially, when I first started out, so I've been in the business for 7 years, going on 8 in April. Initially, when I started it out, all of it was from social media. Because I moved to Baton Rouge, I'm from New Orleans. I did not know a soul here. I was forced to be here because of Hurricane Katrina. So I didn't know anyone. I got into real estate and everybody was like, call your spare, call your spare. I was like, I don't have a spare. So I turned to social media. And so that's when I started really pushing with social media. I was like, how can I reach the most people and not get on a phone or cold call? And so that's when I really turned to social media. So a majority of my business when I first started really came from social media.
Now you do a lot of business, right? So we were just talking, you just capped at your current brokerage like really quickly. You're constantly getting business. So how is this working where you're actually getting business from social media?
So it works. Number one, it works because it helps me to attract people who, and I always tell people who are like me, right? I attract a lot of families because people always see me with my family. I attract a lot of people who are into fitness, a lot of people who are foodies. And when people meet me, it's almost like we almost know each other because they know my personality. They've been watching me. So the person that I am on social media is always a person that really shows up because I'm always truly myself. If what you see there is the person that's going to show up. And they trust me. I don't have to make people trust me. People trust me already.
And so this is one thing I really talk about a lot on YouTube is building trust through long form content. So what is the process for you for building trust with people so they actually know you? What does that look like?
So building trust with people via social media, number one is making the videos, and I engage with people, right? So I engage with people, and a lot of times our conversations go to the inbox. So it used to be a lot of texting, and then I would get to the point where I would kind of try to get their information. But what I recently started doing, maybe like a year ago, is I really started sending the voice messages. What I noticed with the voice messages is more personable, and I get a lot more responses when I send the voice messages. So it's more personalized, and I notice that people are more willing to give me their information. So when I ask for a phone number via voice, people give it to me immediately. And when I call, it's very receptive. It's like, hey, Joanna, because they've already watched the video. Then I go into the, hey, I noticed that you inquired about this property, or even with the food videos. Hey, I saw the food video that you posted, and they'll say, well, how was the food? And then I go to the voice message. Hey, I saw that you watched the video and you asked about the food, and I never critique the food. So on the videos, I never critique the food. Number one, I never wanna make any business owner mad. But if people ask me, then I go to the inbox and I'll tell them. I'll be like, hey, I saw you asked about the burger. The burger was trash. Like so then that's when we kind of, that's how I build relationships with people.
I love that. So Ed Stulak, who he teaches a lot of classes on YouTube, not YouTube, but Instagram and follow farming. He'll say that he'll send video to people, but I think the voice message is just as powerful because
Yeah.
they're getting a personal message. And I think in the chat group, are you afraid to send somebody a personal message or voice message? Do you think that that's too scary, or that's something that's like, I should have been doing that from the beginning? Drop the comment. I want to hear from you because that's something like, you and I were talking about this and we were going back through on Instagram and you sent me a message and you're like, hey, here's the thing. And I was like, oh,
Exactly. I did that with you, right? I
yeah,
did do
you
that.
did.
Yeah.
Well, and the message you sent me was a great message, which we can talk about at a later time. But okay, so social media is a good part of this. Let's talk about the hiring of your recent, because you were doing this all on your own, and I want to get to the food stuff. I'm going to go back to that in a minute. But as far as hiring an editor, and this is what, if you're in the process of trying to hire a videographer, drop a one in the chat or just say me, because I think this is something, one of the questions I get from everyone is, how do I hire an editor? How do I go through that process? What do I pay an editor? How do I get somebody? These are like the major questions I constantly get. So I want to hear how you did this, because as you talk about this, I'll pull back up your content. You guys are batch shooting content and it looks really good. So then we'll get into the content piece. But how did you find the guy? Obviously, throw out a number of what someone should expect to pay. You have a special deal with yours, so we're not going to disclose that. But I want to hear from you. What did that process look like?
So over the years, I had been trying to find a video editor, right? I was trying to find somebody, and what I noticed even earlier when I would maybe hire somebody to maybe come shoot a house or something for me, I just noticed what they were charging and the quality of what they were doing. It just wasn't good. I was like, I could do it myself. So when I first started, a lot of the things that I did do myself. So I learned how to do a lot of stuff on my own. So I kind of knew what things were supposed to look like. I knew how much time it took. So when I was hiring people initially, I would fire people quick because the quality of the work wasn't the best. I always get people in my DMs saying, hey, I can shoot a video for you. I'll do it for free. And then they come out and they do it for free, and it's horrible. And so I wouldn't pay. I'm glad they did it for free because I definitely wouldn't pay them. So so I had a guy, he reached out via Instagram, and I went to his page and I started looking at some of the stuff that he was doing. So what really attracted me to him, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, is I saw a familiar face on his page of someone that I knew. It was a guy that used to actually coach basketball with my husband, and they went to the same church. And so when I saw that guy, I knew he was a good dude, and the quality of the work was actually pretty good. So I spoke with him, and he invited me over to the studio, and I went to go see his setup, and I asked to see his equipment because I know what good equipment looks like. I don't know how to use it, but I know what it looks like. So he showed it to me, and I told him, I was like, hey, if you can make videos that are better than what I make on my own, and you could give me a turnaround time of this, I was like, then I'll give you a shot. So the first initial time we went in, it probably took us maybe like an hour and a half, and we shot, I think the agreement was to make 10 reels. It was eight, and I call them character videos. So I do value videos, but I do character videos too. And those are videos where I kind of tell a story, but I give value in the story as well. So I tell the story, in my normal tone of how I would tell a story, but I also give some type of value in that story. And we also did this video that Jeremy is showing. So those were part of the deal. It was 10 videos. So it took him like a month and a half. And one day I was like, hey, I was like, what's up with the videos? And he was like, I have them. He was like, I'm gonna send them to you. And so come to find out, he was nervous. He was really nervous. He was like, because I feel like your videos are good. So when he sent it to me and I watched it, I was like, hey, these are actually pretty good. He was like, you like them? I was like, yeah, I do like them. And so we kind of went from there. So the deal that I did with him was I calculated how much time it actually takes me to do a video, right? And I felt like since he's a little more professional than me, I calculated the time that I thought it should take him to do a video. And to me, I honestly think, to me, maybe like $100 an hour, I would say maybe to do a reel. It just depends on how detailed someone can be. So we really sat down and I told him, when you see like the captions and stuff on here, I told him I wanted it to be, well, when I'm saying things, I want the captions to pop up, but I also want the images, right? I want to see like the family is in the background. And when I say certain things, if I'm talking about money, like I want money to come up. So I gave him the blueprint of basically what I wanted, and he was able to pretty much execute.
I like this. So I'm just gonna go like all the comments for you, help you out there too. So from these videos, you got quite a few out. How much business have you seen, or how many calls, or what's the response been with some of these, other than agents asking you how you did it?
So tons of agents asking me how I did it, but I have been able to secure, since we started those videos, probably about 4 listings. So the listings that I've been able to secure though are from like expires and for sale by owners.
Okay.
So social proof. So whenever I go on the listing appointments, I always send an email afterwards showing the quality of video that we're doing, how many views we're getting, because I feel like that's the difference maker. And when it comes to marketing, like people's properties, like a lot of agents are gonna say, yeah, we do video. And we, most of us, we do video. But what quality of video are people doing? How many views are people getting? How many followers do they have? I mean, in the world that we live in right now, that kind of stuff, it actually does matter, right? So yeah, I have been able to secure like 4 listings since we started. And I started doing that in November. And I post maybe 1 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do one of the professional a week plus all of the stuff that you're just doing. So you're doing, you know, I'm not sharing, but you do, different pizza places, things, you talk about different events and things like that beyond that. And then you do a lot of these like carousel posts, which we'll talk about in a second. What do you think is the most engaging? Which of the content you're putting on your Instagram or YouTube, or Facebook, which is getting the most amount of traction and leads?
It's the it's the it's the local video.
The
So
local video.
the professional video is more for social proof, right?
Okay.
So that's more for when I'm going on listing appointments and stuff like that. It shows like like I said, I call those more character videos. Those are more for social proof. Like, this is Joanna, this is the type of person that she is, this shows her personality. But the local content, like going to places just with my phone or my DJI pocket or something like that, those are the videos that get the most. I have a video that I did maybe like 3 weeks ago. I went to Drew Brees has a new place called Surge, and I think I have like 100,000 views, and I probably got about 900 new followers.
Really? I'll pull it up.
It's
This
right
search right
there.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So that
And
video
so
went
this is
nuts.
because I messaged you on this. I was like, that place looks awesome. And you're like, yeah, you should come. So I like that you're highlighting the local content and then mixing it up with real estate. One of the things I think a lot of agents make a mistake of on YouTube specifically is they talk too much about the the events, the things happening, and they don't focus on real estate in any meaningful way.
Mhm.
So, like, you were talking about how you were doing the food, and you're telling people later, hey, this is trash. But a lot of agents will just put that on YouTube. Like, here's a long form video, and we're just talking about burgers in Austin. None of that relates back to real estate. So if I were to come in on Instagram and I see you're talking about whatever, the food place or Surge, and then I find out you're a realtor, I may stay and look at some of the other content. Whereas like on YouTube, that doesn't necessarily play as well because it's more long form content. So you are getting business from talking about local businesses and things on Instagram.
Yeah, I guess I would say the formula is we do the value videos, we do the character videos, we do the local highlights, and then we do the home tours.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all we do.
Okay.
At least three to 4 times a week.
And from mainly focusing on social proof, I mean, 275 transactions is a ton of transactions. That's not all in one year, but that's a lot of transactions. What do you think this year? What do you think is going to be the content you start doing this year or change up to get more business this year?
Probably more home tours, but they're gonna be more home tours focused in a particular farm. So I've
Okay.
already started putting content together more in a local, like it's actually in an area where I live. So I'm making it more intentful in a farm, basically. So it's a farm in an area where I live, and the videos are gonna be more surrounded in that area. I know a lot of people are doing new construction, which is really good. And I don't really sell a lot of new construction. So I was like, what can I do that's really going to be beneficial to me, but going to bring in a certain type of audience where it makes my business flow a little better. So it would flow a lot better if I could sell houses that are around my house, right?
Right.
Right? So I don't have to go far, but I can still sell at least 50 homes in a close proximity, and I can list homes in a close proximity as well.
I like that because, we especially in Austin, Austin's a big place. And so when I do a lot of wide ranging content, I get leads for way far out. And so, I could continue to make larger scale videos or continuing to niche down in specific places. So we create, here's the 5 suburbs for this. And then I talk about Dripping Springs. Here's the 5 cities or 5 neighborhoods for this. And then we talk about Dripping Springs. So I always bring it back to Dripping Springs, which is only 9,000 people in Dripping Springs compared to all of Austin. But I'd rather sell more homes in Dripping Springs than anywhere else. What questions, by the way, if you have questions for Joanna, drop them in the comment section. I want to hear from you, especially you, Chris. Just kidding, just messing. I like to mess with people in the chat. That's what we do fun here. All right. So you're going to do more home tours this year. I think that's really smart because we had Ksenia on, and Ksenia is crushing it just on home tours. So are you going to mix it up between new construction and resale, or are you just going to try to focus on new construction?
So new construction and resale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be new construction and resale, all in 2 specific zip codes.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So as far as the content, you're going to focus on new construction, resale, and then you're more of like talking head, or how did you characterize those? Personal
Yeah, so I call those more of like character videos.
character.
Basically, we do value, and then we tell stories where we incorporate some type of value. So like if you look at my videos, I'm telling a story, but I'm giving value in some type of way. So the last video, we kind of talked about a lot of real estate agents aren't profitable, right? So do you have a CPA? Are you keeping your books and stuff like that? So it just, I try to mix it up with different stories. Like one time I told a story about, like what's the worst showing that I ever had, right? I went into a house and that we got attacked by a dog, and that went crazy. Like, so just different stuff like that, because you want to attract, you want people to see your personality. I think a lot of times as real estate agents, like we post a lot of things. All of us post a lot of stuff, but we never show like who we are. And people want to work with people that they trust, right? That they know, like, and trust. So what's the easiest way for us to get in front of people is on social media. And if we can really show like our authentic selves, then we're going to be able to attract people, right? I attract a lot of real estate agents. Like I see a agent on here, Stony. He called me his favorite real estate agent. How many your favorite real estate agent, Stony? You're a real estate agent too. Like,
So
I'm just saying that to say, because he really loves my personality, right? And he watches the videos, and it is attracting him to where I'm his favorite real estate agent too. So
what is Stony in your same market or a different market?
Stony is in the same market.
Well, you're my favorite real estate agent too. Don't tell my wife; she's in the room. Uh,
I was
uh,
just about to say, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Jeremy, stop it.
All right, I'll be careful. All right. So Mike says, how long of a video are those story videos, i.e. the dog attack video?
So they're like a minute, they're about a minute and 15 seconds.
Okay.
Just so I'll tell, like, I try to hook them in, of course, to where they stay around and they watch it. I
I
don't
like
make it,
that
yeah.
because I think sometimes we're so worried about just creating short content with a viral content, right? We're worried about
Mhm.
viral content and less worried about telling a story content.
Yeah.
Because most of us agents think, okay, we need a video like your surge video that does 8,000 views. We need that. That's going to get us the business.
I
No,
don't, yeah,
the
not
post what
necessarily.
says congratulations, well, I can't say that brokerage name. Oh, top producer lives here, right? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Right, like that's impactful of a post, right? And especially if you're going back and telling exactly how you felt and what it means to you and your clients are the ones that need to be the story sometimes as well. So how do you share client wins and losses? How do you do that on Instagram and Facebook? And sorry,
Exactly.
you're on TikTok too, so let me.
Right. And so there's videos, if you go back, there's videos too. Like one of them is, I think my clients love me, right? Or what do my clients think about me? And so those are where I tell stories about what I think my clients think about me. They think I'm a superhero, like, and so you can see the graphics where I like come in like a superhero and stuff like that. So I make sure that I mix it up, and it's not always about the views. I think a lot of people think that surge video, I don't know what happened with that. And I just threw that video together. Like I don't know why that video went as crazy as it did, but I think maybe it's because people didn't know that place existed because it is new, and maybe people were looking for something to do. But most of my content, I'm really not looking to do anything viral. I'm just looking to really attract my audience of people, right? I'm looking to sell anywhere from 60 to 80 houses a year. So all I need is 60 to 80 clients. I don't need the 100,000 that watch the video.
So I found some content that's really working on my Instagram and on YouTube. It's actually crushing on YouTube. Is this style? I don't know what happened with this video, but this video went super viral, and all I did was talk about what was happening in Austin as far as this new development. And this has gotten me more DM. Okay, so yeah, 70,000 views on it. Okay. But all I did was shoot this in front of my camera and then use a B-roll from other stuff that we threw over the top of it. Now, my editor did this video. This is at 70,000 views. I'm getting more people DMing me about like developments and things like that. So I did a follow-up video a little bit called this one right here. So I put a lot of real broker stuff on here too. So that kind of muddies the water. If I just want to do just informational videos like this, my channel would probably take off, or my Instagram would be quite a bit higher, but I do a lot of agent stuff on here too. But I put my phone number wrong in there. That's funny. But like this one right here, top 10 walkable neighborhoods. This is at 30 something thousand views as well. And I'm getting more people asking me about these specific neighborhoods. Now I did this video specifically because I wanted to work more infill properties and more like higher in properties. The funny thing is the comments are like, oh, these aren't affordable. These aren't affordable. Well, I never said it was affordable. Like that's not what the whole point of the video. So that local content does really, really, really well. Like this little one right here, this coffee shop, I was just getting coffee and I was like, hey, this new coffee shop opened up. Not that many views on it, right? 1,700 views, whatever. This coffee shop reached out and like is offered to host any of our real estate events in the future. And like they'll pay for our coffee because of this little video. So I think it's really important that we showcase some of the local businesses. Just don't do it on YouTube. I don't think that's the place for it. Or if you are, you got to tie it in, right? So if I'm at the coffee shop, here's what's next to it, my new listing or whatever. So
Yeah. And so Instagram, I just really started focusing on Instagram, but Facebook probably was like my primary place of doing business. So when I do these businesses, I'm connecting with the business owners, right?
yeah.
Because of course you're giving them free exposure. But before I started even doing that on Instagram, on Facebook, I have groups specifically for business owners. So one of the things that made me start doing that on Instagram was because I was on Facebook. I had a group specifically geared towards where 225 eats. So in that group, it's all business owners that own places to eat inside of Baton Rouge. So
You were gonna hide that nugget from all of us to the end of this video?
yeah, no, I was gonna tell you. It was on the end of the list.
Okay, that is, hold on, back up the train. I think that is
Because we
one
were
of the
talking
most,
about Instagram, but that's why I was like, let me switch back to Facebook because Instagram is new. Like I really just started really building my Instagram. I really just really started focusing on that. But my Facebook page is really where I really grew my business at. Like that's really why I started.
okay, so let's talk about Facebook then, because I'm always in my brain, I think Facebook's dead, but everyone is telling me Facebook is not dead.
That is a lie.
So yeah, there's a lie. Thank you for calling me a liar. Okay.
It's
Okay.
definitely a lie.
Okay. So walk us through this. If I'm Joanna or I'm Jeremy in my market and I want to create a copycat group of what you just did, tell us the process and tell us how it's working.
So basically what I did, and I started this group in 2020. I started several groups in 2020. So one of the groups that I started was Where 225 Eats. So that group, I started that group specifically because I was, see, I have the Louisiana BRN. I have Where Black 225 Eats. I have a subdivision group for I just started that group for my neighborhood. I have a VIP client group. I have a group for everyone that graduated with me. So yeah. So so basically what I did was I started that group because number one, people's businesses were suffering. And so I just went and I found people who had restaurants. They had small businesses. And so in that group, we would go in that group and I would highlight people. We would do Zooms, like a Zoom interview. And we would tell people about the business and we would say like how you could get to the business and how you would be able to get food. So once everything was done, like once we were able to go back out after the pandemic, then I started, if you go to my YouTube, don't judge me on my YouTube channel, right? Don't judge me. But if
Okay.
you go to my YouTube channel, we have videos where I would literally go to these places and I would eat these people's food almost like I was like on a restaurant tour or something. And so yeah, so I grew a lot of relationships with those people. So I get a lot of business from them. I post in those groups, I give them business tips and stuff like that. We meet up in that particular group. Then I have the Louisiana BRN group for realtors. So in that group, we post valuable information in there. They were all invited to come here today. So we have those relationships. I have a Facebook group from all of my past clients. So when all of my past clients are in that group, we do monthly giveaways. I do events for them in there. We post informational things. So when anything is happening in the market, all of that stuff is in there.
I like the past clients group. I think that's a really creative way to do, like, hey, you get all your past clients in there. They can say nice things about you. You can promote any upcoming things you have in there. And it's just an additional like newsletter basically. But then you have people that can collaborate. That's something I've got to, Sonia, write notes. You need to create me a group. Okay. She's like, God dang it. Another thing to do.
So
I like that.
so all of my past clients are in that group. I interact with them. Every month we do a giveaway. So last week we just did a giveaway where we gave away a spa day. And so in order for them to win, all they have to do is, so I don't like the traditional way of doing things. I don't know if nobody noticed. I just like to talk to people. I like to make people call me. So instead of me calling and saying, hey, how y'all doing? I'm just checking in. I just wanted to see if you know somebody. I don't like doing it. So in order for them to like win or be entered into the drawing or something like that, they have to call me or they have to text me. So they'll call me and say, hey, Joe, I want to get entered into the drawing. I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. We're going to enter you in the drawing. Y'all been okay? They're like, yeah, we've been okay. Yeah, my friend said, or they can send a referral or they can do a review or something like that. And so that's how they be like, you want to get an extra entry? Be like, yeah, how I get an extra entry? I know you know somebody want to buy a house.
Oh.
Be like, you know what? I do know somebody. And so, yeah, so I don't like doing things the traditional way. So I just try to figure out ways where I could get people to want to interact with me and not feel like I'm always trying to get business from them.
That's creative. I never thought about doing a thing where in order to get like, we do like the pie thing where you have to respond and say, I want a pie. But, that's creative. Hey, if you want to get in this drawing for a spa day, did Stony win the spa day?
No, Stony not in
Tony, you didn't send her a referral? What the heck, man?
No, I didn't get in that one.
I could see you needing to get pampered, buddy. Okay. So what other ways have you then used, Joanna, to get people to reach out to you? So those events, but what else? I mean, you're getting people to reach out because of the food stuff. Is there calls to action when you're doing the food stuff, like reach out if you want my review? How does that work?
So we do that. We do community events. So one of the things that we do a senior. So every Christmas we do a senior citizen giveaway. And
You
so
give somebody a
basically,
senior citizen?
so, oh my goodness. So no, so if you think about it, right? So every year people do a lot of realtors do Toys for Tots, right?
Yeah.
A lot of realtors do that, or they do food drives and stuff like that. So instead, I have a nursing home. My grandmother actually used to live at this nursing home, and we get donations, we get gifts. So it's for my clients, like it's specifically for my clients, and they love it because they get to bring gifts for the seniors, and then we go and we drop them off. Can we
I
have
like
one of
that.
those?
Julie wants to know, can we have one of the giveaways for one of my kids? Laugh out loud.
Yeah, so instead of giving it to kids, a lot of times people forget about the elderly, right? So we gather gifts from all of our clients. They bring them either to the office or they can bring them to me directly. I'll go pick them up. That's another way, that's another touch, right? They look forward to it. They are always calling like, how much stuff can I bring? Do you need more stuff? Right? And so when I go, all of them want to come with me. I can only bring like 5. I can only bring like 5 of them with me, but everybody like, can I come? Like, can I come, Joe? Can I come? And I'm like, I can only bring 5 people. So I literally like have to do a drawing of like who can come. I'd be like, you came last year, so this year I'm bringing,
That's
I'm bringing such and
creative.
such. And so what I
That's so
started
creative.
doing too is like now, because I was running around for like the last 4 years, like gathering gifts from everybody. So I started doing it in conjunction with pictures with the Grinch. So now we do the photos with the Grinch, and they can bring the kids to come take pictures with the Grinch, and then they can drop the gifts off.
Do you just use one of the people from the old folks home to be the Grinch?
No, my husband is the Grinch. He's the
Um,
Grinch. And then next year he's gonna dress up when we go drop the gifts off, and he'll dress up to be the Grinch and run around a nursing home.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Megan says, do you give a list of suggested gifts for seniors?
So Megan, we used to, the lady that used to work there, that was the director, I would literally have her go to each person there, and I would ask them specifically what they wanted. We would create a Google form, and all of my clients would say specifically what gift they were getting. So that's the way that we used to do it. Last year, another guy took over. She wasn't working there anymore. So basically, he just compiled a list of what were the most needed things. And so then we just brought those items. I liked it when we could do it the other way, but he didn't want to go get like specific items.
Got it. I like that. Okay. Man, these are all good nuggets. Who's finding value out of these little nuggets? Because I would have never thought, hey, if you want to enter this, you gotta call me or text me or DM me. I would have never thought of that.
We
That's
gave
just
away, we did Stanley Cups in January. That was crazy. I did not think people really wanted Stanley Cups like that.
yeah, it's funny. My son won one at a Christmas thing, like a maroon Stanley Cup, and he was taking to school every day. He's like, all the girls keep trying to steal this thing from me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, stop taking it to school. He's like, no, all the girls are talking to me. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Mm.
Yeah. He's a little Casanova. All right. So what are the questions you have in the comments here? Drop them in. I want to get to some more of these comments that you have. Are you finding value in this? Chris, what's your question? I see Chris is getting ready to ask a question. What is it, Chris?
I'm just getting my head around these things, Jeremy.
Okay. What market are you in, Chris?
I'm in South Orange County. Dana Point is my hometown,
Okay. So,
California.
so any of these things that Joanna's talking about, something that you could like start working on immediately?
Yeah, I could. I honestly, I haven't. I've done a couple videos. Um, it's just one more item on the to-do list that I don't know if I want to spend the time doing it. But so I'm here to learn, listen, and watch what others are doing and seeing if I want to implement a more consistent habit.
Okay. Joanna says past client group. Is that something you can implement?
Yeah, I could. I could.
Small business group.
Small business.
Yeah. Where does most of your business come from? Right. I like putting people on the spot. This is way more fun. Where's your business come from right now?
Referrals, our farm,
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So as far as your farm goes, anything that she's doing or talking about here that you can really lay into with your referral partners, like agent referrals, or are you talking about referrals from past clients?
Referrals from past clients, sphere of influence. You know, my situation with our farm is it's a little bit older demographic. We're one of the oldest medium-aged cities in Orange County, but more specifically to the farm, most people don't have Instagram. Maybe they do Facebook. That's what I've noticed. Most folks are on Facebook, but they're not on Instagram. They're not on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, forget about it.
Yeah, I don't even
So
know what
does
that
it make
is.
sense? Does it make sense to pour the energy, effort into doing videos for my clientele? That's what I'm wrestling with.
Can I make a suggestion, Chris?
Sure.
So I just started the neighborhood group, and it's probably something that I should have been done. I should have been did. So my neighborhood is a lot of older people too. And so they're not on like Instagram and stuff like that. So what I did was I created the Hickory Ridge Facebook group, and I created a postcard. So the postcard was just like join the Hickory Ridge Facebook group, and I put the QR code on there. So I put the QR code so they can scan it and they can just join the group. So on that postcard, like I didn't put that I was a realtor and anything like that. And I don't post in the group that I'm a realtor. And the reason that I did that is because I'm in another neighborhood group that's nearby. And so I participate in that group, and I never put that I'm a realtor, but I just participate in there. Like if, people are asking for resources or something like that, I'll comment. And so what I started to notice is when people started asking like for a realtor, there's this like 2 or 3 ladies in there, they always refer me. Because number one, if you post in the group, people are nosy. They're gonna go to your page, right? They want to see who you are. Like, oh, she referred a dog groomer. Like, who's that? And they're gonna click on it. So they're nosy, and then they see that I'm a realtor. So I was like, with my neighborhood, I sent that card out, and I do it quarterly. I send it out, and we have like I think it's 576 homes in a neighborhood. Right now I have like 33 people. I just sent it out. The last time I sent it out was in December. So I have 33 people in there, and they just ask like the craziest things. It's like, do y'all know when they picking up the trash? Like, and it's a bunch of older people. But whenever they ask something, I tell them, or do you know somebody that could cut my grass? And I just put it in there. And so I think it takes time with those types of things, but they join the group. So the next one will go out next month, and then I'm pretty sure more of them will scan it. And we're getting some door hangers too. So like when we go on a walk or something, we'll just hang them on the door. And like I said, I just never put that I'm a realtor. I just asked them to join a group. And that's it.
That's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Join
Thank
the
you.
group.
So it'll work. I think it'll work. It just take time.
Yeah. Julia asks, do you use any AI apps or apps when making your videos?
I use captions.
Captions app?
Yeah, I use captions. I use CapCut like every day.
Good. Okay. I use Captions app. I like that one a lot. And then I just started using CapCut a little bit more, but Captions, because usually my editor sends me stuff and then I'll add it in after that. But and then I actually did a class for everybody here. If you want to join the class on my YouTube channel, I'll put it here in a second. I actually did a class on how to use Captions app. So I also just put 2 links in the chat there if you want to look at Sharon Srivatsa is doing. So if you haven't heard of Sharon Srivatsa, he's the CEO of Real, but he put together a president of Real. He put together a buyer mastery class not too long ago, and it was phenomenal. And I went to it in Nashville. My mind was blown. There's 3 parts to it. It was about how to get buyers from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, how to get clients, posts to make, how to convert those clients, and then how to have that conversation with the client about the upcoming issues we're going to have with the commission's lawsuit and stuff like that. Really, really good. Well, he's doing it again March 19th. So that's what one of the Eventbrites is for. I highly recommend if you can go to Dallas and go to it in person. It's a great event. The day before, guess who I'm going to have come speak? Joanna. So we're going to have a 3-hour class. We're having to do YouTube. So I have 2 really, really good YouTubers coming in. One in Raj Sehu and then Matt Bogosian, who's been on here as well. Raj is like crushing on that property tour walkthrough stuff. And Matt is doing very similar community information. And then Joanna and Shannon are going to do more Instagram, Facebook, content building, brand building. We're going to curtail her talk a little bit for that. So if you want to go to either of those, that's going to be the day before. So definitely reach out and go to those. What was the person's name on the video I suggested? Which video was that? Maybe you suggested, you suggest? I don't know which video.
Which video, Gene?
I just mentioned it. Well, you can go to my YouTube. I have a second channel called Agent Content Creators. I think we just changed the name to Agent Tactics to match this. So you can go to Agent Tactics. I'll find the channel and I'll put it in here in a second. The person I was speaking about was, it's in the link right there. The Eventbrite was Sharon Srivatsa. He's the, I think, president or CEO of Real. Very, like, if you're not following him on Instagram, I highly recommend it. Very, very, very sharp guy. Okay. What other questions do we have? And then I'm going to post this, and then we'll get you also on Monday. Sonia's going to send out the playback of this, so we'll get that out. What else do you have, Joanna? And we'll wrap up here in a second.
Any questions? Anybody have any questions about anything? You don't have to. Mike, Pastor Mike.
Yeah. So right now on Instagram, I have around 865 followers, and I would say probably 90% are agents, and so I am trying to excuse me. I'm trying to get more local, like real people. What besides creating more local content, I assume one tactic to do that is to interact with local business posts and stuff like that. Anything else that you could give a tip on, to grow that particular audience?
Yeah, definitely. So you can be very intentful about it. You can go follow people like locally. So I used to do that. I used to do that a lot on Facebook and Instagram. Like I would intentionally go follow, I'm not gonna say random people, but if I saw like that they lived in Baton Rouge and like they had a business, I would go follow them and intentionally like their posts.
Okay.
So
like I could do like a search for like specific hashtags and stuff, and then see who's commenting on those posts and go from there.
exactly. Like I would do Baton Rouge business. I used to do Baton Rouge moms. Baton Rouge hairdresser. On Facebook, I would go to, so I would always follow all of my clients, and then I would go to their, and I hate to say this because it almost sounds stalkerish. Like I'm listening to myself right now. Like this sounds so bad. But I would go to like my clients and I would look at their list and I would follow like every other day. I would follow like one person off of their list. I'm pathetic. But I didn't know anybody in Baton Rouge, right? And I have maybe like 5 family members here. And so the people that I was selling homes to, these were people, they were strangers. So these were the only people that I knew. And so I would go intentionally follow people that they knew. I would go to their friends list and I would follow people that they knew. And I would do like 10 every other day. I would literally look for people from Baton Rouge and I would go follow them. And I did the same thing. I did the same thing on Instagram. And I still do it. Every now and then, like if I get people that follow me, especially like from the video that I posted, when I saw all those people started following me, I go to their page and I'll see where they live at and I'll like a few of their posts. Because I want the algorithm to kind of mix up, because when you like certain posts, it'll mix it up to where you'll start seeing that more and they'll start seeing more of your stuff, especially on Facebook. So it's very rarely that I really like a realtor post unless it's somebody that doesn't live in the same area as me. Because when you're liking all of those realtor posts, that's all you're going to see on your timeline.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think what's cool too is like the top 5 lists, the top 10 lists. When you talk about developments in your area, that's what's really blown up on my Instagram specifically. And so I get a lot, like I'll have the same 10 agents respond to it, but I'll actually have way more like realtors. Cause I run into the same thing. I talk about real estate a lot. So I have real estate agents that follow my Instagram. So what you said works perfectly, but I would just talk about more hyper-local stuff as well. What else you got, Joanna? You're full of it today. I know you got it all in there.
Julie says she want to raise her hand, but she doesn't know how to.
Go ahead, Julie. Ask a question.
I'm not that techie, so I don't know how to actually raise my hand on this. Like everyone's got a hands raised. I don't know how to do that.
I love your accent. I love
Little
it.
yellow thing. So I'm struggling right now with trying to get my Instagram page, looking more aesthetic and trying to get more videos out there. My Instagram page is very, very boring. I do boring videos every single time. That's, videos that are, informational videos, questions people may ask me and I'll respond with the answer, but they're boring. They're in front of in my office, just sitting there. That's it. I'm not that techie, so I've been trying to play with CapCut. That's why I was asking what apps and stuff you use, if you used any. I downloaded CapCut this morning trying to do it, and it appears to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at all your channels, like yours, Jeremy, and yours too, I think they all seem more fun to look at. Mine's very, very boring. So I was thinking, and I don't know if this is a good thing or not, to hire somebody. I do all the videos and I send an editor, for an editor to edit them like that. What would be your views on that? Yeah, see.
So why do you think it's boring?
Well, I mean, I need to get rid of a lot of my canned posts as well from KCM, but like you'll see now as he scrolls now, these videos, there's like 100 of them. I did 100 videos in 100 days of different
awesome
Q&A. And even my mother was calling me from England saying, okay, when are you quitting? Because I'm bored. But I don't know how to make it, I see videos like your videos where you've got things going off in the background, pops and captions that, I do use the captions app, but I'm not, when I've tried to play with it and put in sounds and pop up, it just doesn't work out. So I was thinking of hiring, I met, or I connected with a guy on social media, actually, Connor Moraine or whatever his name is, I can't think, he's in San Diego. And I was debating on hiring him to send him videos that I would shoot and he edits them. What would be your views on that?
Well, real quick, you did 100 videos in 100 days.
Yes.
You did what every realtor thinks they need to do, which is how long does a mortgage approval take? Boring.
All right.
Right.
How do I buy title insurance? Boring.
Boring.
Right. These are all boring things. If I'm a client of yours looking in Orlando, none of this says Orlando. None of this says anything about Orlando. I mean, maybe this Kissimmee one right here.
Mhm.
But most of this, okay, I don't need to know the basics. That's what I'm going to come to you for, right? But I want to be inspired to come to you. So if you were
Right.
talking about, you know, the top 5 mistakes buyers make buying new construction, well, I would probably want to know that, right?
Mhm.
The most costly mistakes, the best areas of Orlando. I highly recommend that you go subscribe to the Orlando Business Journal and start making, and literally you can do the green screen where you just screen record. You don't even need to do all the things you're talking about. You're making it too hard on yourself. Go screen record the article that you're reading or
Okay.
whatever and put it behind you and use Instagram and just hit record and say, hey, look, this is the, whatever project that's coming up. If you're going to be buying in Orlando, do you think this is going to hurt you? Do you think this is going to help you? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Here's the information. Now you're creating an actual engagement instead of here, you're talking to me instead of asking me my opinion.
Right. Right. Okay. I see. I hear you.
Yeah. I
Okay.
used to
And
make videos like
I do
that too.
subscribe to the Business Journal as well. So yeah, that's something I can definitely do.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
think that would go a lot further because the thing is you're not asking for engagement. Like with
Right.
Joanna stuff, she's asking for engagement because she's eating a hamburger and people, was it good?
Right. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I used to
Thank
make
you.
videos like that too. So I feel like when you make videos like that too, it's better like maybe if you share an experience, right?
Right.
Like I had a buyer who was buying a house and they had an 8 point something interest rate. Let me tell you how we were able to get that down.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And all your videos, I feel like you're in the same spot. I used to do the same thing. So like I promise you, like and I feel like every video you're in the same spot. So maybe like you change it up. Maybe
Uh-huh.
like one day, maybe you're outside, maybe you're walking or something like
Right.
that. But I
Okay.
used to do the same thing.
Mm.
So yeah, so maybe you tell like what you tell a story first.
Okay.
Like tell a like something that happened and how
Does
you
Okay.
any does anybody else struggle with that? Like what content actually resonates? What content, if you are, just put a 1 in the chat if you struggle with what content to actually create. In Yeah, Megan says, yeah. I think we all overthink it, right?
Yeah.
If you were to put a post, and I challenge you, do this today, and I guarantee you're going to have enough content ideas for a while. Go to Facebook and make a post. What do you wish you knew about before you moved to Orlando or wherever your area is? And then tomorrow, write, what was the hardest part or the best part of, and then ask a question. I guarantee you, and then what is the top pizza place? What is whatever? And then then you can do a whole video like, I asked everybody in my local market, what was the best pizza place? Here's all the responses. What do you think? Well, guess what that's going to do? It's going to create even more engagement. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you got people engaging with you that maybe not are realtors. Then create, here's the top 5 suburbs. What do you think? I went to Wallet Hub and I found that Austin was the best capital city. And it says this, do you think it's as affordable as they say it is? Okay. Those will do a lot better for you. Now it'll take a little bit. It's going to take some consistency up front, right? So you're going to do 5 or 6. I would try to do 5 videos and don't make them hard. Use Captions app because that Captions app can put the stuff up, or use CapCut and it'll put the stuff up for you. You can watch the video I did. In fact, I put it right there in the link. You can watch the video we did there. I think you'll get much better reaction. And then also think about and then just keep asking people in questions. If you look at my Facebook, a lot of times I'll ask questions and then guess what? 3 weeks later, my video pops out on YouTube and then sometimes I'll even refer back to the comment section. So your audience has all the answers for you. You just have to ask your audience. Does that help, Julie? Perfect. All right. We're at an hour. Joanna, you get the final word. What do you got?
I hope it was good. I hope you guys were able to take away some nuggets from it. If you guys have any questions about anything, y'all are more than welcome to shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Joe Knows BR on Instagram. And we have a team page, it's the Arnold Group. And on that page, I do like the content is a little different, it's a little longer. Because I don't want the pages to kind of coincide with each other. So the content is a little longer on the other page. So any questions, any concerns about anything, y'all are more than welcome to call me.
Awesome.
Any last questions before we go?
Yeah, last questions. Here we go. Thank you. Very helpful. Appreciate your time. Julie says, awesome. Don't be afraid to reach out to Joanna. She's killing it with everything. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mike. All right, that's it, everybody. We appreciate you.
All right, y'all have a great day.
Reach out to Joanna